Welcome to Paladin Global Market. I am so excited today to have with us Shari from Shari Sells. Shari, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Shari, I found you online organically and saw your experience on eBay, and I was just excited to see someone that has been doing this at your caliber. Your specialty, I see, is consignment reselling. And as I know our listeners will probably understand, is that's always been a heartbeat of mine as well. So Shari, can you just share with us, how did you get into that part of the business?
So when my husband and I got married in 2003, we got a house. We were in the Bay Area in California, and we had a mortgage. That's the first time I had a mortgage. Anyway, I got a job at a Fortune 500 company as a recruiter.
Okay.
And I was making a lot of money, and I was totally strung out on stress. I was working 11-hour days. The culture wasn't in line with my own ethics, and I was miserable. So we just, had a talk and chose family over the money, which was a close call.
Yes.
And because, you like having a house.
Right. I know.
So I quit that job without anything else lined up, but I had, 6 weeks before of money coming in still from commissions. So I thought, I am going to clean out the house while I have time and get rid of things that we're not using, because I am not into keeping things that have value that have no value to us. Right. So I was doing that. And my husband, since we were pretty newly married still, he would tell, friends and people that came into his work, they'd say, "How's your wife?" And he said, "Oh, she's fine. She quit her job. She's selling on eBay." And I was just selling our stuff and looking for jobs online. And he would come home from work and say, "Oh, honey, you have to call this gal and this gal. They want to know what you would charge to sell for them."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh." So I Googled, what do you charge to sell for someone on consignment? And I found like a 300-page ebook that I bought and downloaded, and I did everything it said, because I thought this was the first thought that I had, that if I can make this a business, I don't have to go work for someone else.
Yeah.
And I'm a hard worker. I don't mind that at all. I just need a good work environment and to love what I'm doing. Right. So I thought, you've got 6 weeks to make enough money to make the house payment, or you have to go buck it up and go get a job.
Right.
And that was February 2006, and I've never had to get another job.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh my gosh. And you, I know I have too, have seen so much change over the years since then, haven't you?
Yes. Okay, here's my dog.
Oh, he's so sweet. Welcome to the show.
She says hi. Okay, so I'll put her down. She just, loves to be on the camera.
I love that. That's the whole reason we do eBay, is to be with our family, and our fur babies are part of that family.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm in heaven working at home with my dogs. And now teenagers, I hire them. They seem to multiply.
Yeah.
And it keeps me connected with the community. I think you might have asked me a question, but if you did, I don't remember.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I just, the statement on just how much we've seen change over the years.
That's right.
With this type of business. The technology and everything, and the buyers' habits have been quite different, haven't they, over the years?
Absolutely. I mean, like my husband always said, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And I do have to tell you, since I'm going to be talking about him, because he was just such a force, I do have to say that he did pass away. And that was 4.5 years ago. And that is one of the things I'm so grateful for eBay about, is that, because I didn't know he was going to be diagnosed with anything when I quit that job. But years later, he was diagnosed with MS, and then later terminal cancer. Because we had made that decision, I was at home working, so I could take him to the doctor, pick him up from work if he couldn't work anymore. And that made all the difference in the world for me. So I'm so grateful.
I'm so sorry to hear about your husband. I remember after I asked you on the show, and then I said, well, let me do a little more research on our guest because I just saw your excellent track record on eBay. And I was like,
Thank you.
oh, wow. I said, Shari's really done a lot. I saw that you spoke at eBay Open. I didn't know that at the beginning.
I did.
When I invited you. And then I did see the story about your husband. And then was it Sam's or Costco that they raised?
He worked at Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he raised because of the community too.
Yeah.
And because everyone knew him. It was like a small town, but it wasn't a small town.
Yeah.
And he was in UCSF Benioff's Children's Hospital's, what was it called? Financial report for 2015 for raising $1 million.
Wow. He left, it sounds like an amazing legacy. And then on the side note, like you said, what a gift that eBay has given you, that freedom of time. I have the same heartbeat and passion. Just with raising my newborn up to who just graduated last month, but being able to be home with her is just priceless. And then in consignment actually led into that quite a bit. I know when I first started selling, it was, again, everything from around my house as well. And then you're right. People are like, hey, can you sell this for me? And
yeah,
it's like, I can't advertise. I haven't advertised in years because I don't have enough room for all the stuff because everybody is like, here, take this. I went to go pick up something last week from an item that was supposed to be just an Xbox. I come home with the whole backseat of my vehicle full of stuff. They're like, here, well, what about this? So tell me about your consignment journey as far as, what's your business look like today with consignment? How is that set up?
Okay, so I'll start with when my husband passed away, I moved to Colorado to be near my little brother and his wife and 4 little kids. So I get to be in their daily lives. Again, something eBay's, an eBay business afforded me because I was able to just move the business from California to Colorado.
Right.
But my husband was so outgoing and so well known that really 40% of my consigners came from word of mouth, literally from his mouth.
Oh, how
but
sweet.
When I moved to Colorado, I thought, am I going to be able to do this and make enough money? And now I had to make really double the money because it was just me.
Right.
So I actually joined a networking group called BNI, Business Networking International, and they have local groups with local professionals, and you meet each week and get to know each other, and then you're able to give referrals to people that you trust. And that is where I'm getting about 35% of my referrals. So 4 years after moving to Colorado, I have doubled the business.
Wow.
And because I do have to market. And I also found that with marketing, I can say no to things that are going to, not be worth my time. And really you lose money when you list certain things.
Yes.
Even if they sell, but especially if they don't sell. So I have 8 employees, but they're all part-time and they're all students. So during the summer, like right now, I'm so excited because I'll have 5 at a time.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's so fun. We're getting everything listed. Now, the part of my plan that's a little bit flawed is that, they're going to college or back to high school in August, but I have a couple that can work part-time still, just 4 hours a week approximately, while they're in high school.
Perfect.
And I have one gal who's an adult who's going to work 1 day a week for me.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm kind of getting my school year lined up. I'm having a ball this summer, and
I love it.
We have a couple thousand items listed.
Wow. Yeah. You have quite a large store. I saw. Yes. You encouraged me. I need to get on it. You're doing you're listing so many things. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me, with that, do you keep all of your inventory in your home office? How do you have external, like a warehouse? How do you do that this time?
Well, that's part of the fun is that of moving to Colorado. When I was looking at houses, this house had a 2,200 square foot unfinished basement.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
And I'm like, I don't want a finished basement. I don't need all that. So that, I have it all set up with shelving. I've got a surveillance system, security system. And then, so I keep most of it on site.
Nice.
And then for some items that are freight type things that are for companies that have used equipment, I'm selling their used equipment.
Right.
I have them keep it there.
Smart.
Have good communication with them, get the information. They have to palletize it. And then when it sells, I have a freight company, pick it up and take it to the buyer.
That's awesome. Wow. Shari, I know our time today is limited. You are such a wealth of information. Maybe we'll have you back on the show to dig deeper, because I find this fascinating how you had that ebook, like you said at the beginning, but you have probably gone through the school of hard knocks through the years. Am I right? Oh yeah.
I tell people, it's not like I can just teach you how to sell on eBay. I can teach anyone how to lose money on eBay.
Sure, right.
I've done every which way of doing it. And like you said, it always changes. So I did everything that ebook told me. Then I changed things that needed to be changed, partly for the times.
Right.
And then continued to adapt and change what I'm doing. And I have to just keep doing that. It's okay to make a mistake. You just realize, okay, that's something I'm not going to do anymore.
Yeah, don't do that one again. That stung, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important. Shari, I would love to show our listeners how they can connect with you further. Before we started, you were talking about that there is a site, SellSellSell.online. Can you go over a little bit about that in detail if they want to be able to contact you or listen to you from there?
Yes. So Philip Jackson, who has been selling on eBay for over 14 years and has a great radio voice and this English accent.
I love it.
He started this eBay radio show and has me probably as his polar opposite.
That's on good there.
Yeah, we're definitely like two different sides. And I'm on there with him. So we'd love to have you on the show.
Thank you. I'd love to be on the show. That'd be fun.
Great. And we'd love, for people to call in with questions. They can go to SellSellSell.online to email or call any questions, or if they want us to evaluate online or on air one of their listings. We were we're having fun, but also just discussing the latest eBay news and changes as they come along.
That's exciting, Shari. Now, if they would like to get in touch with you, in addition to the radio show, so Shari-Sells.com, is that the best website for them to reach you at?
Yes, and Shari, Shari Sells.com.
Excellent. And then for our listeners and viewers, I'm going to have links to that in our show notes as well. And again, Shari, I know you have a busy business. We were just talking this morning. We have shipments to get out from the holiday weekend. So I want to be mindful of your time as well. Shari, is there any kind of last words of advice you want to leave our listeners with today?
I guess my last words of advice is what I tell the teenagers. What is step one of creating a listing? And step one is research it and check the sell-through rate and see if this is going to be worth the time that it takes to list it.
That's huge. I
guess it's pretty basic, but
yes, it's such a game changer in your business when you start looking at that proactively, right? Instead of just listing it because you have it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that is one of the ways, I'm losing my headset here.
Oh,
that is one of the ways, to lose money selling on eBay is just listing everything indiscriminately.
Absolutely. I could talk to you for hours. I know I could, but Shari, we just really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. And I think you're doing an amazing job. And again, we're so sorry to hear about your husband, but sounds like he's left such a great legacy and was your biggest supporter and fan.
Yes, he was.
So that's pretty awesome.
Thank
Shari, you're welcome. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.